Welcome to Minka Aire Troubleshooting 101. Today we are going to look at troubleshooting tips for faulty ceiling fans. The purpose of this video is to provide an overview of common fan issues and tips for resolution. This video is not comprehensive and should be used in conjunction with our Minka Aire technical support team. To reach our technical support line, please dial 1-800-307-3267 and ask for tech support. Our team of service technicians can provide guidance on common issues and recommend service tips, replacement parts, and warranty replacements. In this presentation, we will refer to the fan instruction manual. Your instruction manual can be found on the product page at minkagroup.net. Simply search for the model number or name of the fan, scroll to the product resources, and select Instruction Manual to download. First, we will review programming your fan. All RF-based controls and fans must be programmed or synced prior to operation. This process creates a unique connection between the control and the fan. Establishing a unique connection using dip switches ensures that your remote only controls your fan and not your neighbor's or your downstairs fan. Luckily, programming your Minka Aire fan is easy. Step 1, turn off the power. Next, set a unique dip switch pattern on the control. Next, hang and wire your fan per the instructions. Turn power back on to the fan. The fan will go into program mode for 60 seconds. During this period, hold the stop button on the remote or wall control for 6 seconds. The fan is programmed when the light blinks or the motor shutters or starts. A bit more on dip switches. Dip switches and programming RF-based controls is easy. Dip switches should be set prior to programming the fan. There are only dip switches on the control, not the receiver. Dip switches on the remote control will be found under the battery compartment in the back, or on wall controls on the side of the wall control. As mentioned previously, it is important to consider the number of fans in the same area on large projects. Programming 2 fans in the same area with the same dip switch pattern will cause interference and syncing issues. Next, let's look at issues related to noise. Noise issues are generally caused by either the fan motor or the receiver. This flowchart helps determine the likely cause of noise. It is critical to check all installation instructions when you have a noise issue. While noise can be caused by a receiver or motor defect, it can also be caused by installation issues such as loose or over-tightened screws, a loose canopy, loose glass, or missing components. If we look at our flowchart, the first step in troubleshooting noise is to determine if the noise persists when the fan is powered off. To do this, run the fan until the noise begins. Hit the stop button on the control. If the noise persists, as the fan is winding down, it is likely a motor issue. If it stops, it is likely an electrical issue caused by the receiver or capacitor. Both components serve a unique function in fan operation and are easily replaceable. There are additional steps you can take to nail down the root cause, as you can see. However, this is a great time to call technical support. They can continue the diagnostics as well as offer insight into which one needs to be replaced. We will look further at where to locate common parts like receivers and capacitors in a few moments. Programming issues. If you're having trouble programming your fan from the start, or your fan has lost its connection, start here. First, ensure there is constant and continuous power to your fan by using a voltage reader. Inconsistent or inadequate power supply can affect or damage the performance of a receiver. Ensure the receiver has been installed correctly by referring to the instruction manual. If the receiver has an antenna, ensure it is not crimped and damaged. Next, ensure you are closely following the instructions for programming. Programming details are found on the instruction manual, and we have outlined them previously. Be sure there are batteries in the remote and that the indicator light at the top of the remote is lighting up when you press a command. If the indicator light on the remote control does not light up, there is no signal being sent to the fan. Replace the fan and reprogram it. Replace the batteries and reprogram the fan. Where to find a receiver. The location of the receiver will vary by model. Most receivers will be located in the canopy of the fan, where the fan wiring connects to the junction box. However, some DC motor fans will have the receiver located on top of the motor housing. Either location is easily accessible, so replacement is straightforward. Utilize the tech support team at Minka to find the receiver location or refer to the instruction manual for wiring diagrams. Replacing a receiver is easy. However, it is recommended to use a licensed electrician or qualified handyman. Replacement involves disconnecting and then reconnecting the light-colored wires with wire nuts on the fan and receiver. Some DC motor fans receivers have quick connects or Molex connectors, so it's even easier. Capacitor is explained. A fan capacitor is similar to a receiver in that it's an electrical component of the fan. The capacitor stores startup power to get the fan moving and is also involved in speed changes. Issues with the fan starting, slowing down, or not changing speeds could be a result of a faulty capacitor. Capacitors are also easy to replace. Most are found in the fan switch cup, as noted on the illustration, or on top of the motor housing. The process of changing a capacitor is similar to that of a receiver. Simply match the light-colored wires together or use the provided quick connect. Other issues related to receivers and capacitors include the fan starting or stopping without command and/or the fan speeding up or slowing down without command. Review the information on this slide and try to reprogram your fan with a new dip switch pattern. If your fan is starting or stopping without being prompted, it is likely a cross signal from a nearby fan or a faulty receiver. If reprogramming the fan does not solve the issue, you will likely need to replace the receiver. If your fan is slowing down or speeding up randomly, it could be related to the receiver and the capacitor. First, try reprogramming the fan. If that does not solve the issue, you will likely need to replace the receiver and/or capacitor. Additional FAQs. How do I reverse my fan? All DC motor fans are reversible via the remote or wall control. Some AC motor fans are considered full function and can be reversed using the controller. If the fan is not a DC motor fan or does not use a full function remote or wall control, you need to use the manual reverse switch on the fan motor body to reverse the fan. Full function fan controls include RCS 212, RC 400, 500, 600, and 1000. Fans using the RCS 223 or RCS 213 control will have a manual reverse located on the fan motor housing. Can I use a wall control in conjunction with a remote control? Yes, the best way to do this is to program the fan with the remote control first. Then install the wall control using the same dip switch pattern as used on the remote. The fan is already programmed to that channel and should respond to both controls. You don't have to go through programming twice. Do I have to use a receiver or remote that came with the fan? Yes, each Minka Aire fan has a unique receiver specific to that fan. Please refer to the receiver list or contact Minka customer support for receiver numbers. Can you use Minka wall controls to operate 2 or more fans? While it is not advised, you can use one control to operate multiple fans. Each fan will need to be programmed separately. Please contact technical support for guidance on installation. The fans should be within range of 40 to 50 feet of each other. Please note that controlling multiple fans with one remote can sometimes lead to fans becoming out of sync with each other if the signal is not picked up by the more distant fan. This concludes our ceiling fan presentation. Thank you for choosing Minka Aire and stay cool.